From the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, this is your weather tonight.
Staying mostly cloudy as we head through the overnight hours and staying warm as well between that cloud cover and the strong south wind. Not really getting out of the mid to upper 60s for overnight lows tonight. Maybe a stray sprinkle or a shower here and there, but most of us staying dry. And then warming quickly as we head through the morning hours. We'll once again be into the low to mid 80s by tomorrow afternoon. Officially, Storm Prediction Center has parts of southern middle Tennessee in a level 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather for tomorrow evening and overnight, a level 2 out of 5 in yellow down in the northwest Alabama, closer to I-65 and US 24 here in North Alabama. It's level 1 out of 5. However, I think this may be a little too aggressive based on the data that I've seen. This is a much different animal than what we saw last Friday night and the Friday night before. Let me show you that with the threat breakdown. Last Friday night, we had long track tornadoes across the area. We had strong tornadoes also the Friday night before that. Notice this time for our Wednesday evening threat tomorrow night, the tornado threat's on the low side. And you can't ever completely rule out a tornado anytime you have a severe storm, but the tornado threat tomorrow night is going to be as low as it can be, as close to zero, without it actually being zero, since it can't be. The main threat, if we do have a severe storm tomorrow evening, and that's a very iffy situation, would be gusty straight line winds and maybe a few reports of quarter-size hail. I think the more likely situation tomorrow night is potential for some rounds of heavy rain and some localized street flooding across the area. Even the flooding situation, not an overly big deal, with only 1 to 2 inches of rain, even if there's a little training. So overall, some gusty winds, some heavy rain, and some lightning. That looks about the extent of it. Here's Futurecast as we head into the morning hours. Mostly cloudy skies, a few spotty showers here and there. Heading into the midday, we see a little more sun, a stronger south wind, 15 to 30 miles per hour tomorrow out of the south. That warms us back into the low to mid 80s. A few spotty thunderstorms possible by the late afternoon. Notice the bigger storms off to the northwest. And then notice what happens as the storms get in here. Notice what they look like. They don't look like this big solid squall line with intense straight line wind. They don't look like these big honking supercells with hook echoes like what we saw the past 2 Fridays. So overall, we'll watch the situation very carefully. We will be staffed here in case any warnings are issued. And I wouldn't be shocked at a few severe thunderstorm warnings. We might even see a severe thunderstorm watch across the area, but overall this looks like a lower end risk of severe weather as we head through tomorrow evening and overnight. And I think the more likely situation is some embedded lightning, some gusty winds or so, and then a few rounds of heavy rain during the evening and overnight hours into early Thursday morning before everything shifts out and we start to dry out to an extent. There will be shower chances that continue at times for our Thursday, our Friday, and our Saturday, because we're still going to have southwesterly flow in the upper levels, but we're going to have the front to the south, so we'll have a bit of overrunning and also some cooler air. Highs back into the 60s for Thursday into the Easter weekend ahead, but it looks like we do dry out in time for Easter Sunday itself. Here's the temperature trend in the next 5 days. Once again, well up into the 80s for our Wednesday, but then we drop back into the lower 60s here as we enter the end of the week and the weekend. I wouldn't be shocked if a few folks on Friday stay in the upper 50s briefly, but we do start to moderate the trend in the Easter weekend back to the mid to upper 60s for daytime highs. Dry on Sunday on Easter itself and back into the lower 70s next week as you grab that first cup of coffee in the morning before headed out the door. Mostly cloudy skies and on the warm side starting not too far from 70 degrees to begin the day, and then warming from there into the low to mid 80s. We'll be in the low to mid 80s over southern middle Tennessee. A few scattered thunderstorms by the afternoon, more likely during the evening and the overnight hours. Northwest Alabama looking the same, low to mid 80s, scattered showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon, more widespread during the evening and the overnight hours. Here's your 7-day forecast. And after the storms tomorrow night, a few spotty showers here and there at times Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Highs in the low to mid 60s. A little more sunshine for Easter Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy skies, but the rain is out of the way. Daytime highs in the upper 60s there, maybe near 70 over northwest Alabama. Everybody into the 70s early next week with partly cloudy skies and quiet weather to begin next week. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. Ben Luna's back in the Weather Center tomorrow morning with another update to your local weather.